Rustom Irani, CMD at Keystone Realtors, to talk a little bit more about the redevelopment projects that they've bagged and lots more. Thanks much for taking time out. Let's just understand a little bit more about the recent announcement and what the outlook is when it comes to the development pipeline for the company. What is it that you're expecting to end the year with, Boman?
So good morning, everybody, and thank you for having me on your show. I'd like to just state that we are in line with our guidance of project acquisitions, and we've more than doubled the acquisition for this year over last year. Last year, we had about 3,425 crores. This year, we've already crossed about 7,050 crores. And this is in line with keeping in line with our guidance of low cost of acquisitions or low entry cost, asset light models. Most of the redevelopments that we kind of go for come to us, and we are continually focused on continuing our strength in the Western Suburbs. And as you can see, the acquisitions, last three acquisitions that we've had in this quarter are all in the Western Suburbs itself. And the very fact that these redevelopments continue to come to us speak of our strong trust that the consumer has and the redevelopment or original flat owners have in the Rustomjee brand. And we plan to continue with this in all areas where infrastructure growth is taking place. As we are aware, the Sea Link and now the Coastal Road is all a reality. Work is on in full swing. So Bandra and the Western Suburbs will continue to grow.
So just taking it off from what you were just talking about, the redevelopment projects that you're now getting into, one in Malad, a JV, as we understand, with the Ajmera group as well. What are the kind of offerings and what price points are these redevelopment projects going to be?
So very good question. First of all, wherever Rustomjee goes, it is only in line with where we can add value to the development. And that's how our tie-up with Ajmera, which is a prime property in Bandra West, where we believe that we can add value in terms of design as well as execution and sales. Malad continues to be a very strong growth area, and that's where we've acquired about 12,000 square meters under redevelopment, two separate societies. And over here, we believe that the price points would be in the region of about 35,000 rupees on carpet area. And Bandra would be in the region of about 65,000 rupees on carpet area. So these are the price points that we are there, and hopefully these are the price points that we will be able to better as we go along with our developments.
There is a general view in the market that the base effect for the real estate sector would kick in. Supply is going to be disproportionately higher than what the demand is. And given that the nature of the island city of Bombay is changing because of infrastructure development, we actually would see a lot changing in terms of what the buyer would be buying and what he should be focusing on.
So Nikunj, let's put it this way, that every launch does not see the light of day in terms of completion. So that is one thing that we've always had as a factor to concern ourselves about redevelopments or about developments in general. And that's why a lot of more focus or a lot of more customer buy-in is taking place into branded developments. And again, one has to be choosy about the kind of developments that one will go with. So while there's a lot of growth taking place, infrastructure-backed growth is what we are consistently following. That is to say, wherever infrastructure growth takes place, whether it is by way of metros, whether it is by way of new roads, whether it is by way of new developments of commercial taking place in a particular location, where then residential automatically becomes an automatic choice for people to go in, is what we are doing. And as you've seen, Nikunj, we've always kept an asset-light model, and this has helped us even kind of hedge any kind of a downside risk that may be there. But once again, I'm not so concerned about the quantity of development because Mumbai as a market itself is growing phenomenally. And we are at an all-time low of ready inventory in the markets as of right now, which itself speaks to the strength of this market. And to credit the developers, we've kept the prices under control in spite of inflationary pressures on all prices going up, whether the materials that we buy or the charges that we pay to the various government agencies. We've managed to keep our prices under control, and we've kept volume as the premium that we kind of want to work with. That is, I'm speaking of all the larger developers. And I see this continuing growing. I'd like to just point out to a few reports that have come out from CREDAI, where CRE Matrix and other agencies have been involved, and we've seen that there's a strong, healthy growth predicted for the MMR market going forward for at least the next 2 or 3 years in the visible timelines.
And I just wanted to ask, are there any expectations that the real estate sector is going in with when it comes to the budget? Any wish list?
So, first of all, I'd like to state that there's a big property exhibition coming up in Mumbai on the 26th, 27th, and 28th at the Geo Mall, and I'd encourage your viewers to come. And when Lord Ram has also gone home, it is time that we all find a home of our choice. Then further, we'd like to state that with this budget, we've had only 2 or 3 asks, and they're all for the consumer. One of them has been that GST should be rationalized. We should be allowed the input tax credit as a choice. If the government wishes, they can give both the choices available to the developer when the developer is starting work. Then secondly, we've asked for a tax break for our consumers who are taking loans, and these loans should cut, the value of the tax break should be going up. It's way too low, especially for markets where prices are going up. And third is the definition of the affordable housing, which has been at 45 lakh rupees for the last 5 years, even by general inflation, is up to about 70 lakh rupees. So if the affordable housing can be disconnected from the price and only kept as an area, that is 60 square meters and 90 square meters or thereabouts being the affordable housing definition, it will allow a lot more liquidity to come into the business and also allow developers to reduce the prices and increase the volume of the transactions taking place, thereby providing a home for all, which was our Honorable Prime Minister's vision, and he wanted it done by 2022. But we will get there, and by 2030, we've got about 60% of our population coming into the metros. So metros need to develop, and 45 lakhs is not a number that one can provide good homes at. So that's our ask from the budget.
Your time. Thank you for joining in and sharing with us a view on Keystone Realtors as well as what the outlook is for the sector. All right, meantime, let's get a chart check going as well. And Nuresh,